Assalamu alaikum everybody. I'm your Arabic teacher Sam, and I'm the founder of the Arabic in 60 Steps program. Firstly, I want to thank the Arabic in 60 Steps students, the people who part with some of their hard-earned money for the program so they can sponsor series like this that we do here absolutely for free on YouTube, and obviously they go out to the podcast as well. So what episode is this? This is episode 7 in the Aladdin series. So if you haven't been following along, please go back to episode 1 and just catch up. So obviously we've done 7, this is our 7th one, and every 3rd one we do one live as well, so you can check out the 3rd one, the 6th one, and then in 2 weeks time we're going to do another live one on episode 9. So what should we do? So firstly, let's remind you guys about the competition, because we're giving away all 3 of these. Apologies for being underdressed, by the way. I normally wear my jumper, but I'm sweating. I'm so hot in here with these lights, and being a bit more of a thicker man, I just get hot a lot. So don't show my wife this video, because she always complains how underdressed I am, how scruffy I look on camera. But so don't share this video with her. But anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to give away one of these jumpers. Not this one, you get a new one. We can send you a black one or a white one, or we can do a t-shirt as well in black or in white. You'll get one of these mugs as well, and we'll also get one of these Galaxy Qur'an lamps as well. They're absolutely beautiful, and we're going to send all 3 of those to you if you are the lucky person who wins the competition. So what is the eligibility criteria? What do you need to do? Well, on every single one of these videos in the series, you need to like it, you need to subscribe to the channel, of course, you need to comment something underneath the video. I love it if it's something useful, if you share some advice with some of the other students, or if you say something that you learned or something like that. I love that kind of stuff. And share every single one of the videos as well. So whether you just share it with someone in your contact list on WhatsApp, or you just share it on your Facebook wall, or you put it in your Instagram story and at me at Arabic in 60 Steps, then I absolutely love all of that stuff. You have to do all 4 of those things on every single video to be entered for an opportunity to win any of these. So that's the competition, episode 7. We might as well just jump straight into the text, inshallah. So, for those of you guys who didn't catch up on a previous lesson, obviously I highly recommend that you do that, so you can kind of build up to here. But even if you didn't, I'm just going to read down to where we were. So, we got to this. We got to وَبَرَعَ فِي فُنُونِهِ وَبَرَعَ فِي فُنُونِهِ, and he excelled in his funun. He excelled in the arts. What arts are we talking about? The arts of as-sihr, of magic. The arts can be, I mean, that doesn't sound, it does literally mean art as in like, it does mean like painting and stuff like that, but it can also mean kind of, we say that as well, don't we? We say things like the creative arts, you know, we might mean writing and things like that. And it's the same in Arabic with the word funun, the singular of which is fan, with one noon with a shadda on it. So we're actually starting here. I'm going to highlight it for you. وَكَانُوا. So we're talking about this rajul who comes from al-Qarrat al-Ifriqi. He comes from the continent of Africa. Al-Qarrat al-Ifriqiyati. So كانوا يلقبونه بالساحر الإفريقية. So كانوا يلقبونه. You might have heard the term laqab. A laqab is a term, for any of you who have studied any Arabic literature, for a name for somebody, but it's like an official title for somebody. You might say that somebody's name is something, but their laqab is something else. They have a laqab that kind of describes who they are usually, or what they do usually. So كانوا يلقبونه. They used to يلقبونه. The verb يلقبونه is from the form 2 verb laqaba, hence where there's a shadda on the qaf. So good. They used to name him with as-sahir al-Ifriqi. They used to name him with as-sahir al-Ifriqi. With the African sorcerer, or the African magician, or something like that. Good. وَقَدْ وَصَلَ إِلَى الصِّينِ مُنْذُ يَوْمَيْنِ. So, وَقَدْ وَصَلَ. And certainly he arrived. He arrived to الصين. He arrived to China. مُنْذُ يَوْمَيْنِ. Mundu means since, right? But when we kind of talk about this sort of thing in the past, we say mundu yawmaini. We mean 2 days ago. Yawm wahid is 1 day. Yawmain or yawmani, if it's in the marfu', means 2 days, and the plural of it is ayyam, as we saw at the beginning of this paragraph, where we saw fi yawmin min al-ayyami, and in a day from the days. Good. So he arrived in China 2 days ago. He arrived in China 2 days prior to this. فَلَمَّا رَأَى عَلَاءَ الدِّينِ. فَلَمَّا. That's not just one word. We have like a fa, which sort of means so. لَمَّا. Lamma means when, but there's a few different words for when in Arabic. This one is when we're kind of setting the scene for something. لَمَّا كُنْتُ طِفْلًا, like when I was a child, for example, or لَمَّا سافرت إلى الأردن, when I traveled to Jordan or whatever. We use لَمَّا when we're kind of setting the scene, when something happened. لَمَّا رَأَى, when he saw علاء الدين. So when he saw Alauddin, right? If this said Alauddin, if we used a dhamma on the end of Ala'u, it would mean that Alauddin is the subject doing the ra'a, right? It would mean Alauddin saw, rather than he saw Alauddin. As subhanAllah, is how significant even just one little short vowel is. It can change this word to either being the one who's doing the seeing or the one who's being seen. So we're talking about the rajul, right? Who يلقبونه بالساحر الإفريقي, the one who they call a sahir al-Ifriqi. He saw Alauddin. وقف يتفرس. We saw these two words. وقف means to kind of stop. يتفرس means to kind of to observe or to ponder, but no, to observe or to analyze something maybe. في أسارير وجهه. So the author knows that أسارير is a bit of a funny word. It means like well, let's look at how the author gives us a synonym for it. خطوط جبينه. So your خطوط, well, a خط, one خط is a line, but in this case, خطوط, the lines of jabin. Your jabin is your forehead, right? So he's looking at like the wrinkles really on his forehead, right? It's a bit like how when you read someone's palm, you like look at the wrinkles in their palm to do yatafarrasu, to analyze something about them. So that's what he's doing when he sees Alauddin. He is yatafarrasu. He's analyzing khututi jabinihi, but it's on his forehead, not his hand. I don't know if that's like a Chinese tradition or whatever to do it on their forehead, but we know people having their palms read, don't we? Good. وَيَتَأَمَّلُ فِي صُورَتِهِ وَيَتَأَمَّلُ. We've talked about يَتَأَمَّلُ previously. I mean, we've seen it in this very paragraph. And it just means to ponder over something. That's a fine translation for it here. يَتَأَمَّلُ في ماذا? In his surah. Not his surah, his surah. A suratun is a picture. Surah with a scene means like a surah of the Qur'an, right? That's the difference. It usually confuses the students because it even has the same plural as surah, right? Surah, as in a surah of the Qur'an, is written with a sin, and surah is written with a sad, meaning a picture. And the plural of surah is suwar, as in suwar of the Qur'an, and the plural of surah, meaning a picture of something or an image of something, is suwar, right? But just with a sad. So yeah, but he's not obviously this sahir is not yata'ammalu fi suratihi, in his surah. He's not doing that. He's pondering over his surah, over his image, over what he looks like. Yeah, he's analyzing him. ثم سأل أحد الأولاد. The case endings are really important in this. Like they're really helpful. ثم, and then سأل, he asked أحد الأولاد. So أحد الأولاد, because it's أحد الأولاد rather than أحد الأولاد. If it was أحد, it would be the boy, it would be one of the boys who asked, right? But because it's ahada, it's the man who is asking the boy, right? Ahad al-awladi. Ahad means one, and al-awlad is the plural of walad, meaning a boy. An ismihi. So he asked one of the boys about his name. About his name. فَلَمَّا أَخْبَرَهُ أَنَّ اسْمُهُ عَلَاءُ. Good. So فَلَمَّا, so when أخبره, the verb أخبر means to inform someone or to give someone news about something. It's often used in hadith literature, like usually in the isnad of a hadith, you'll hear people say things like an, it'll usually be an, right, on the authority of, we heard something about the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, an fulan, an fulan, an fulan, upon the authority of this individual, upon the authority of this individual. And sometimes you hear أخبرنا, they informed us. أخبرنا فلان. We were informed by fulan. That's a good word to know for starting to read hadith in Arabic. So أخبره, he informed him, أن اسمه, that his name is علاء. That his name is علاء. فرح واستبشر. فرح. Fariha means to rejoice or to be happy about something or to have joy in something. You know, when I was in Palestine, I met this man who told me about these two pairs of verbs that when you say them, they have the opposite meaning and they also make the opposite movement in your mouth. So the first of the two examples is the verb fataha. You think about in your mouth where you pronounce fa at the front, right? Ta is a little bit further back and ha is right at the back. Fataha, it means to open, right? And the opposite of that meaning to close something, khatama, right? It's the opposite meaning and there's the opposite movement in your mouth. And the same we have with the verb sa'ida, sa'ida, kind of, right? And fariha. So fariha, no, it's not sa'ida actually. Sa'ida is almost a synonym actually, it means to be happy. I got confused with another pair that you told me, but I've forgotten the opposite, right? It was fariha, right? And hazuna. Hazina or hazuna? I feel like it's hazuna. Hazuna means to be sad about something, and fariha means to be happy about something. So anyway, let's carry on. So fariha, so he was happy, right? He was happy. This sahir Ifriqi was happy when he heard about the name. Wastabshir. Wastabshir definitely comes from the term bashir. If someone is, or you might even know someone with the name Bashir, it means kind of a bringer of good news, and the girl's name is Bushra. I like the name Bushra. So wastabshir, it means to be glad about something, right? To have glad tidings about something. Fariha wastabshar. Wastabshar, sorry, not wastabshir. Am I thinking of an ayah in the Qur'an? Allah says wastabshir, because that's the fi'al amr, that's the imperative. If Allah is saying, you know, stabshir, be happy about something, have glad tidings about something. This is just using it in the fi'al madi. This is just saying wastabshar, and I'll highlight where I am. I keep forgetting to do that. Wastabshar, and he was glad. Can't seem to just highlight one word. Come on, man. Anyway, we're down here, even if I can't highlight the whole word, but we're down there. Fariha wastabshar. وأيقن أنه وأيقن. Well, the term yaqeen means to be certain about something, but أيقن means to kind of become sure of something or to realize something. وأيقن أنه لم يخطئ. I like that verb يخطئ. وأيقن أنه, and he realized that he لم يخطئ, that he had not made a mistake. لم يخطئ, he had not made a mistake. في اهتداء إلى طلبته. Nice. Okay, so he realized that he had not made a mistake in اهتداء إلى طلبته. In this case, the ihtida is the seeking out of something or the being guided towards something. It literally comes from the same root as the term huda, meaning guidance, right? Or hidayah. Huda, another girl's name, Huda. The name Huda. So yeah, he had not made a mistake in his sort of guidance towards his tilbatihi. Rather than, I believe, like tulba. Tulba is a plural for students. Talib, you can be your tulba if you're talking about your students. So sometimes there's a couple of cases where the ism fa'il can have a plural in that pattern. I think the term sahib, sometimes its plural can be suhba. So just like talib can be tulba, but it's not tulba, it's tilba here with a kasra under the ta. So in this case, it's his request, or his, literally the verb talaba means to seek something. I'm not sure what a noun from that is though. His sought after thing. That's not a word, but that's what it means. Yeah, so he had not made a mistake in being guided towards his pursuit. Let's call it, maybe. There's other words for pursuit, but let's call it that for now. And then obviously the author puts in brackets a couple of synonyms for us. His haja. Your haja is, haja means a need for something. Literally, it's a really useful expression actually to say that you need something. Ahtaju ila something. Remember to always use ila with it. I know in English we can say I need something, but in Arabic you kind of need to something. Ahtaju ila kada wa kada, to something and something. Or his qasd. Your qasd is literally your aim, or what you mean. It can mean either. Yeah, you can say laysa qasdi, like that's not my intention, that's not what I mean. Or I found myself quite often in Palestine when I'd have like debates, usually with feminists in the class. I'd say things like lam aqsid dhalik. Lam aqsid. I didn't mean that. Lam aqsid dhalik. Yeah, but the verb, qasd, it means your aim. So good. So حاجته, his need, وقصده, and his aim, as two synonyms for tilba, the thing that he's seeking. وأن سعيه, وأن سعيه, a sa'i is a pursuit, really. وأن سعيه has to be سعيه because this is the ism of anna, which is a sister of inna. Those of you on the Arabic in 60 Steps program, that's in like step 17, I think we talk about that. So indeed his pursuit, the hu means the his pursuit, indeed his pursuit, قد كلل, or توج بالنجاح. So كلل and توج, they mean the same thing, really. Let me ask you guys, do you know what the word terj means? Terj, because obviously it comes from the same root as this verb, توج, form 2 verb. And by the way, if they look kind of funny, for those of you on the 60 Steps program as well, remind yourself of form 2 verbs, which we cover in like step 20 something, and remind yourself of passive verbs as well from like step 7 or 8 or whatever it is, right? Because this is a passive of form 2, right? So if you have another form verb like these don't really mean much out of context, but we'll just use them to demonstrate because they're just really common form 2 verbs. If we have a verb like darrasa, right, darrasa, to teach something, if we had durrisa, that would be, that's the passive of the past, right, durrisa. It would make the verb darrasa, to teach, to be passive. It was taught, right, which does really mean something, although I haven't seen that actually used in practice. So what's going on here? Kullila and tuwija. It has been crowned. That's kind of what it means. That seems pretty funky in English. But so his sa'i, his pursuit, has been crowned, bin najah, with success. It's kind of not climax. That's the wrong word. It's kind of reached a pinnacle of success. Maybe that's a way of translating it, right? Like when he found out who this boy was, he was happy and he was glad. Fariha wastabshar, and he realized that he had not made a mistake in his guidance towards his goal, towards his qasd, and that his pursuit had the word finally isn't in there. It doesn't say akhiran in there, but it kind of has it kind of has an implied meaning of like it's finally reached its crown, it's peaked with success, bin najah. And that's everything. I think it's wise for us to maybe pause there and just do like half a paragraph in each one of these lessons, because I think that's plenty for us to do. And then the next lesson we will be doing عرض الساحر الإفريقي. Good. And that looks like a nice little paragraph. Because it's smaller, we might be able to finish that in one lesson. It's only 5 lines, I think. We might be able to do all of that in the next lesson. So that is everything for episode 7 in the Alauddin series. Another huge announcement. I probably should have made this at the beginning, but I was too excited to get into the meat of it. So this month, the whole month of September, I've only taken, I think, 5 students on the Arabic in 60 Steps program because I've been really busy moving the whole program from one website to another just to have a better student experience. So now we can have regular progress tracking, and instead of having like 60 lessons that you have to get through, we've got 4 modules of 15 lessons. We have an assessment at the end and feedback at the end and stuff like that. So just the student experience is a lot better. I wasn't able to do that previously. So we've spent the whole month really just tearing everything down and rebuilding it in another place. And but now we're ready. We're going to be ready from the 1st of October, which is this Thursday, I believe, inshallah, if I've got that right. So I will be opening for another cohort of a limited number of students. And then that's how we're going to run the program from then on. We're just going to do a limited number of students every single calendar month. And then on the 1st of every month, I'll do like a welcome webinar, right? So everyone who joins throughout the whole of October, 1st of November, I'll do a welcome webinar for all of you. I'll do it live so you can ask any questions that you want, and I'll just kind of introduce you to the program, make sure you have everything that you need and stuff like that. So that's how we're going to run it indefinitely now. But every month we will have like a limited number, and we will close it as soon as we get to that number, because I need to keep a lid on it, because I actually give my time to the students, right? I actually respond to students' messages every day. I just need to be careful, right? I can't turn the tap on and just leave it on and let loads of students come in. So, so when the 1st of October comes in, if you really want to be part of it, please don't dilly-dally, don't wait until the end of the month, because all the places might run out. So, that's everything. If you do want to be part of the program, inshallah, just go to the link below. It will be arabic60steps.com below in the description, or if you're listening on the podcast, don't want to forget about you guys, it will be in the show notes as well. But it's not difficult to just type in arabic60steps.com. You will find it. If there are any difficulties, put arabic60steps.com/bismillah. Sometimes you need to do that, depending on, I don't know, what browser or whatever, just to be extra safe, but hopefully you won't need it. So that's everything. Come back next Monday at 6 p.m. for episode 8. And then we'll be going through this paragraph. Oh, sorry, it's not arad, it's gharad. Gharadu. There's a ghayn there. Yeah, we get into some nice vocabulary. Oh, there's a lovely little expression there. But you'll need to come back next week for it. See you guys next Monday, 6 p.m. UK time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.